time once again to do some more arts on this, the shortest day of the year, where the sun was not really even up at 8 a.m. is very tiring. But despite that, we are still going to do arts. This will be, come here. Hello. Hello. Where's my zoom? There it is. Ugh, my hotkeys not working. Still going to do our final draw stream of the year. And of course, it is more Eldritchrune. I'm going to probably finish the clean lines for this part with Asriel today. And then next time, or not next time, but then after that, might go back and do some fills on an earlier part, since I've got those to do as well. A bunch of stuff. And I actually think next time I might take a little break from usual comics. We'll do like some shorter drawings, like little doodles. Double drawing. We did it. Parallel play. Facebook reminded me of a birthday for somebody I haven't spoken to in years. Thanks, Facebook. Actually, no, it's probably not been years. I probably saw him last Christmas. Oh well. Well, I probably won't see it this year because I don't think we're going to church usual time. We're doing other things. Because yes, I will be gone soon for my holiday break. Gotta head home and spend time with the family, and when I do that, I'm usually not on the internet in any meaningful capacity. So, I'll have to post my hiatus posts. Nice, it's good to try different poses, especially from reference. Always good stuff there. Reference good, I say, never using it. Do as I say, not as I do. I am doing a lot at once, so. I really need like a good reference bank. I'm just babbling to myself. Isn't the sound not coming through? I'm pretty sure I checked the sound should be working. It says it's going. If not, we got bigger problems. Whew. My mic is on. Speaking of, good grief, we got even more stuff to do with the mics from that newsletter. I'll probably wait for more people show up before I yap about whatever was going on with that. Goodness knows. It's a bit of a crazy. Precious Pluie. Pluie's the name of the minigame. No, I think like nobody even like called the other ones like Jongler, Bat-Tap, but we all just called the shadow guy Pluie. Because it is kind of hard to make a saxophone noise with your mouth. Not impossible, but difficult. You're not looking very Pluie today. Tana, what is your deal? Okay, I just want to make sure that my sound was going through. Still never quite sure what to make of the mics. It's Spam Tennis world and we're all living in it. Yep. Again, like I said, I'm kind of glad that they showed that scene because I ain't going back to redo, you know, having Spamton in my town. Sorry, or Tenna in my town. Sorry, Tenna, you're with Metaton now. You're Metaton's new bud. Tell me, who's Jevel? Jevel's hecked off to nowhere. Hello, thank you for coming. Yes, it was something about using references. Don't worry, I was just babbling. It's nothing important. Like all the spam tennis stuff. I will say I'm kind of glad that, like, Green Pippins was like, hey, you know, maybe stop treating your employees badly? Oh yeah, if you got that many files, you can probably keep 10 in one of those. Tackle all of them. I'm in a weird position because, I mean, I guess I could buy the game again. I'm sure I might at some point. But right now I've just bought it for the PC. But, like, I'm not doing Weird Root. Well, mostly my use of different save files is just, I didn't get the secret things in this one. Okay, I'll try in this one and copy over however we need to. I don't have a boarded snowgrave or snowgraves or any of them. They're all just various stages of how completionist can I be pacifist. Ah, switch 2 powers. So wait, did you get to do the different mini game that you can only do in Switch 2? That requires two controller. Also kind of weird. It did look weird. Then again, I kind of sucked when I tried the regular one, so I'd probably suck at both. Yeah, I don't know. If you like trying to use two mice at whatever at once, that would just kind of it feels like a, you know, rub your stomach, scratch, pat your head at the same time kind of thing. I feel like my brain wouldn't quite be able to keep up with it. Put it on the floor and try and do that. Oh, that sounds so weird. I'm sure it's gonna be cool. Oh, I forgot the dog over here. Hello, dog. I won't forget you. Weird puppy. Okay, that's good. It's doable. Could not do the remaining shoe mini game. Oh, the take chosen ones to the art game. Toby Dog's just like, wow, freak family. Freak family, your family. Actually, I don't know if I did a humanized milk looker. I gotta do that. Cat to the basket, yeah. I'm sure that will mean nothing. Save people from this rainstorm. Which could mean nothing. Put cats in basket. I did enjoy the jongler one of just throwing cats through a hoop. I should actually try and go back and do some, like, high scores on those. I haven't played them since the one time I did it on stream. Poor Green Pippin's putting up with so much. Yep, we're working on stuff from the ending. Just because we got so many pages of that to do. Trying to make progress on it in little tiny chunks where I can. So this is from, I think, part 9 out of 20 to give you an idea of how long this is. But we'll get through it tiny little bits at a time. Initial file, no eggs. No mantle. And night file, the old one with mantle. Snowgrave on PC. On console, I got a boarded Snowgrave and otherwise pacifist, and unfinished violence and complete pacifist. Oh my goodness. For a game with one ending, there sure are a lot of ways you can play it. I feel like the part that's actually going to really matter is whether or not you recruit people. that part feels somehow that part is what feels the most significant to me. I mean, obviously, like, Weird Root is significant, but in, like, a different way. And I'm wondering how much that'll actually affect the ending. Crying Chris! I'm very emotional. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a second opportunity to get the crystal, so we can have 5 for whatever Sham's gonna make us, but it's hard to do. A lot of crying, Chris. Stuff's been hard. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat the knight again. So I'm just gonna take the file where I did beat them and go from there as needed. Although, I missed the moss in chapter 3, and I'm like, do I really want to replay the whole chapter 3 again, including the night for the moss? Yep, Chris having to confront their family. We're at the end of that. They did quite a bit of yelling already. They were very upset. And Asriel's been trying to talk them down from, having Susie eat their parents. True, front to back 1/4 through a room, they'd be like, ugh. I know, part of me does want to, like, replay before chapter 5, but oh my goodness, as the game gets on, doing a replay just gets longer and longer. And definitely I'm kind of scared to redo some stuff like, again, like the knight. Even a mantle holder really beats my ass. I know, if I just have moss power, then I can beat the knight, no problem. No problem. But, I don't know if I want to redo everything just to get that scene with Tenna in my town. I'll be like, I think plus I'm pretty sure we'll get some interesting scenes further from Mettaton adopting Tenna, so it's just a matter of, okay, what do you want to see? Second, I thought I was on the wrong thing. I at least did get the eggs. With your guys' amazing help, I was able to get the eggs. So even, like, the moss, finding all the moss is like the only big thing I'm missing. I did get all the eggs. I do have files with all the secret bosses. And, good grief, anything else I'm missing? Obviously all recruits. That's still pretty dang good. Like, getting it after 4 or 5 tries, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty good. Might also help, I guess, since they nerfed one of the harder attacks with the knight. Maybe if I tried again, I would do a little better. We don't know about the eggs. They're not too important, not too unimportant. I feel like the eggs are gonna end up mostly being some hint into Chris's past and what traumatized them so badly, because chapter 4 seems to indicate that those are connected somehow. Sword Hall was what did me in a lot. I really died a lot to the Sword Hall. Sword Circle I did fine, but Sword Hall, no. Board, slash debris, and fast knives. Ooh, yeah. I feel like most of those I could do if I just really concentrated, but Sword Hall, I don't know. I could not read that telegraph very well. Yeah, the north wind's blowing. The reaction time on that is very short. Oh yeah, Toriel is aware that she is very much hurt, Chris. She is aware. Also, part of my problem is, like, you know, I really don't do well against the knight without the mantle, and I'm not very good with the mantle fight either. I've never been very good at, like, Zelda style, that kind of Zelda style top down stuff, so I lost against Mantle Holder a lot. Huh. Wait, is that what happens if you die on the final attack on the first try before you reset? Weird, huh? I figured that was always just, like, a part of it without... Well, I mean, it's basically being with Asgore. He does things that irritate me, but I don't hate him. I want him to improve. I want him to get better, please. And I hope whatever we get with him in Chapter 5 does that. 53 deaths. Ooh, that sounds about right for me. I'm sure we'll have some other future boss where I will be dying many times. Of the secret bosses, I actually kind of feel like Spamton is the easiest. Like, at first I struggled with him, but now I'm like, I can usually get him, like, in the first 3 tries at least. Jevil gives me a lot more grief. Gotta go fight the knight and win. You can do it. If I can do it, anyone can. It's doable. Yeah, I could probably count how many times I died just by going back and looking at what I did on stream, because I think I only fought the knight on stream. Aside from, like, my first playthrough, in which case I just died immediately and didn't retry it, because I assumed that it was a scripted loss. Which I'm pretty sure is what you're supposed to do. Unless you're like, no, I'm going to be stubborn about it. And it's like, oh, you're going to be stubborn about it. Wow. Now it gets interesting. Yeah, like, I mean, I definitely struggled with Garrison too, but also, like, I don't know, I find Garrison's battle just a lot more fun than Jevil's. Oh, were you trying to like beat them as opposed to, like, just drop their HP enough? It's possible. I'm still of the mind that, like, okay, once you get all the shadow crystals, that'll turn into a pure crystal, and that will get you one of 4 ultimate weapons. But I do wonder how helpful those will be, all things considered. Like, I don't think it's going to change the ending at all, but clearly it will help in some way. Yeah, I think that I agree with the sentiment that basically the pure crystal will be combined with the, like, best weapon for each of the 4 1 of 4 characters. Oh, need to endure until their final attack. Oh no, yeah, you gotta get their HP down. Because basically, so far we know that, yeah, there are themes of freedom with it. Well, what we know so far is that the pure crystal, which supposedly is made from all the shadow crystals by Sham, or maybe somebody else, says purified by the cat, so probably Sham. But it could be somebody else. When combined with the thorn ring, makes the twisted sword, which so far just applies to Chris, but I kind of get the feeling it's actually going to apply to Noelle, since we know she can wield some swords, and that would make thematic sense for her to get the twisted sword. So, the freedom motif. I'm guessing that the quest is going to wrap up by chapter 5. If we only need one more shadow crystal, and we get it from the boss in chapter 5, then as long as there's nothing else we have to do to make it, if he'll just make it, I think we could get it as early as chapter 5. Yeah, Noelle can wield some swords. Most of the time it's just rings, but she can wield certain swords, supposedly. But basically thinking, okay, so if it does that with the thorn ring, perhaps if we combine it with other people's ultimate weapons, we'll get weapons for them. For example, if we combine it with the black shard, we'll get something for Chris. If we combine it with the Justice Axe, we'll get something for Susie. And then assuming that the next secret boss is Ralsei focused and gives him a powerful scarf, then combine that with Ralsei's scarf, we'll get an ultimate weapon for Ralsei. I mean, it certainly is possible. Maybe there's something. Well, it can get like all the shadow crystals in 5, but there's one more thing we need to do, and we'll get it in. And we'll get it in 6 or something. But I kind of get the feeling this is going to wrap up sooner than we think. Mostly because I'm kind of wondering how much more time we'll have to spend in Castletown. I definitely think that, like, Chapter 5 is going to be our last quote-unquote normal Dark World where we recruit people. I don't think we're going to get much chance to do any recruits in Chapter 6 and 7. Things will get crazy. Yeah, my thoughts are that basically pure crystal, which is made from all the shadow crystals, is combined with one person's weapon that they would get from secret boss stuff. And then that will make an ultimate weapon for them that will, 1, boost their stats a lot, and 2, give them, like, a unique ability. And whatever that unique ability is will depend on what the weapon is. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, what is the deal with trance down on the twisted sword? I'm going to turn off this so I can see what I'm doing. It's a very weird situation. I think people assume, before assumed, oh, this is for Chris because we get out of the trance that they're in. But they don't seem to be in any kind of trance, not the way that Noelle is. Like, they seem fairly aware of what's going on. It's also a thing just, like, stats-wise. The Twisted Sword is, like, it's just kind of okay. It's not that much better than anything else Chris currently has. So it's like, okay, why would we assign this to Chris? But the trance down things feels like it's more relevant to Noelle than it is necessarily to Chris. So that is why I'm guessing that Noelle will become capable of wielding it in the future. And who knows how that'll work, because we don't know if we can remove the thorn ring from her later in the weird route. Otherwise, you have to do it through abandoned weird route. Yeah, I guess it depends on, is this abandoned weird route only, or is this something you can get normally on the weird route that we'll be able to take the thorn ring from Noelle later, even if we've equipped it now. I think people have this idea of like, oh, we've equipped it, it's just never going to come off again, and I don't know about that for sure. I mean, maybe, but... Okay, Chris is having a hard time. I've been having a hard time for a long time. Yeah, that is true. Aside from maybe, like, the black shard, it definitely seems like the most mentioned weapon outside of, like, you know, just regular stats and stuff like that. Yeah, she recognizes it in that chapter 4 scene. True. And recognizes, like, oh, that is the thorn ring. Not, like, at first she's like, oh, that's a thorn. Oh, it's Harry the thorn ring? You know. That's true. Why do you have one, Asgore? Or at least why is there another one in Carol's house? What do you mean by some things? Yeah, Justice Axe definitely seems, it's like it's going to be important. And again, so it's like, oh, you know, it's a good weapon, but we don't have a really particular ability attached with it yet. But maybe a different ability will become important later. I don't know, why would I struggle drawing this particular pose with Chris? Whenever we get to chapter 5, I'm sure I'm gonna miss the secret boss again, and I'll be like, how do I find it? Yes, there are. Chris has talked with, you know, the beasts about, you know, stuff in their past. The beasts are not going in like completely ignorant of what Chris has gone through. Well, once I finish this panel, I am probably going to need to take a stretch break. I need a better one. Yeah, for sure. Like, I didn't even find Spamton, and I didn't find Jebel the first time I played Chapter 1. I didn't find Spamton on my own the first time I played Chapter 2. I'm not good at picking up on where that stuff is hidden. I tried. I already thought, I was like, oh yeah, I found the mantle holder. Is this the secret boss? I hope so. It was not. I mean, yes, but also no. No, the first time I played Chapter 2, I didn't even go to Spanton's shop. Just completely missed it. I was like, oh, that was a weird little gremlin guy, and moved on with my life. I guess Mantle Holder is a secret boss, just not the one that's with the Shadow Crystal. Just the Shadow Mantle. After 10 at this point, so many streamers get told to save after that fight by backtracking. Yeah, that's true. The whole, like, oh, you better backtrack that immediately tells people, uh-oh, another fight's coming. Although I guess then the problem with that is if there was a save point after beating Tenna, you would still be thinking, uh-oh, why am I saving after Tenna kind of thing. Either way, you're kind of telegraphing that there's another fight coming. And this is not our final one. Yeah, maybe not as suspicious. I'm trying to remember, did I even save right after that? I might have, I don't know. Like, if you're pretty diligent, you might do that anyway, but if you're not... Alright, it is time for me to do a stretch break. Yeah, if you mess up and then have to fight Tenna again in order to fight the knight again, oof, oof, oof. Like, honestly, Tenna's already kind of a difficult battle. At least I had some struggles with it. Like, maybe I'm just bad. Mostly because it throws a lot of things at you. You gotta react very quickly. Do every minigame. Do it for 1 second. On we go. I'm trying to think, what's the most difficult non-secret boss, like required boss? Kinda gonna say the Titan right now. That one was actually quite tough for me. On violence is pretty easy. I guess that, yeah. But I guess my problem is, like, I always pick the pacifist option. I always recruit people. So, my stats are going in our lower. That's true, and if you did sword, then you'd hit him pretty hard. Kill your TV. Kill your TV. Yeah, I did struggle in the Jackenstein fight, especially on the latter third of it. Thank you, original Starwalker. This Christmas is pissing you off. Yeah, okay, I'm glad Toby nerfed it. I died actually a couple times first time doing Jackenstein. Although part of it, there was like one part that I just was an idiot on. I didn't realize you were supposed to escape through the chimney, so I kept trying to go through his pumpkin through the door, and they would just get absolutely wailed on. You weren't supposed to go that way, dummy. Yeah, I died in like 2 hits to the knight the first time. I was like, ah, is the knight on? Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Get swooned, idiot. You're gonna get swooned. Oh, doodle request. Die from bug fables. Okay, let me do that. I gotta do the rest of my stretches. When I get back, I will do that. let's do hyphen bug fables. Let's see. Go, my mouse hiding under my thing. Where's my search engine? Let's see. Bug fables. Is it a little bee? Is it a little bee character? Looks like a little bee. Trying to find official art. It's kind of hard to find them. They look like a little bee. Okay. A little bumblebee. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull that up. And since there's room right here, we'll put it next to the other one. Oh, gotta make my thing smaller. Extremely cute. We love a big fluffy bee. With a boomerang. Is it a beamerang? I'm not seeing that much official art for them, so I hope I'm doing them right. Little wings. I got it right! Yay! Beamerang. My arm's gonna go into this stripe there. Maybe I should move that. Cute. There we go. Extremely adorable. Alright, the page is almost done. We're filling it out. Yay! Yes, that is very, very cute. Thank you for the request. Alright, we're back to it. I'm gonna get swooned. Bit of a tangent, but the thing that bothers me the most about the whole Chris they/them theory or whatever is that that's never gonna get disproven or proven either way, because if the assumption there is that it was not Chris and that just the knight did it, then like there is no reason to prove otherwise. You already saw it kind of thing, and we don't need like, oh, we're doing this because we need to show that Chris is working with the knight, because we already know that. So that's just going to be argued about forever. And that's going to annoy me a little, but whatever, I guess we'll deal with it. It's just never going to be brought up again. Very much Susie supposedly is like, no, Chris, you can't. I'm not a mount. You can't ride me. They still end up doing that a lot because it's fun. Turns out it's actually fun to be a big dragon rider. Okay. Anybody could have told you that. Why is that cut off? Because there's a bit of background there. It's hard to tell. Don't ask how Chris climbs up there. They just do. Whew. Yeah, it will be interesting to see whoever we get for our next and possibly last secret boss, or at least our last crystal holder. Unless we do have to fight Sean for stuff, which is possible. But who knows? I do think a Sean boss battle would be cool. Terrifying, but cool. Yeah, no, that went right into her hair. Wrong. Incorrect. He's like, fine, so I don't get to eat them. Fine. Tails in front. Yay, sketch done. On a scale of 1 to chalk, how badly does Susie want to eat Chris's parents? Chalk. Like, come on. And again, is chalk really a big favorite for Susie? I don't know. She probably likes it, but is it big favorite, or does she want actual food? Yeah, here she wants to, but Chris said no, so fine. They have to go elsewhere. Moss is real food. Susie loves moss, true. She seems to love it because it's like a thing that she shares with Chris, though. Why do you get moss? You ate the moss together. Tastes mossy. Your HP was mossed out. I kind of wondered how much the moss joke was just kind of a one-off thing. You know, just to be silly in chapter 1 and then just kind of kept going, carried on because people liked it. Well, that happens sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I actually just finished that, which I'm actually happy about because it means it won't be happening when I'm traveling. And I was worried about that. I'm like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen when I'm traveling. And now it won't. Hooray! I'm free. That during travel is the worst. But I'm sorry. Especially because it's like so dark and cold out now. Just want to curl up in bed and not do anything. It's like dark still at 8 a.m. It's like, ugh. But now we'll be moving into slightly more light every day. We're through it. We're through the worst of the darkness. Cold water falls from the top of the sky. It's inevitable, but spring will come. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh no. No, not during travel, no. Ugh. That sucks. I hope it's not too bad. Well, that's a pain in the butt. The dog's still over here like, freak family. Your family. Freak family. Toby over here like, you seeing this shit? I do hope we see Asriel next chapter. I think we will. But we better. It's been so long. Let us see the boy. However dorky or undorky he looks. I do kind of like the fact that just like nobody questions that, you know, the dog will show up in both the light world and the dark world in Deltarune. How's he getting between the worlds? He just there. It's fine. Roast chicken climbing. Doing donuts in the street. Ooh, Zelda. Especially appropriate after Sword Root. Which Zelda specifically? Like a certain Zelda style or just Zelda in general? My brother is really big into Zelda. I used to watch him play Majora's Mask over and over, and he would get all the masks every time. Just so he could have Fierce Deity Mask for the final Majora fight. Oh, neat. Or I'll say, what mishaps will you get up to? What secrets are you keeping from us? Oh yeah, you gotta do Birdly as Rivali. And Blue Bird's gotta stick together. Who would Noelle be then? Or Susie? 100 times more nerdly. Well, Mipha. I don't know Zelda that well. I mean, I know some Zelda, but I'm not super familiar with it, so I don't know all the characters. Like, I played Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, and again, I'm pretty aware of Majora's Mask, because my brother would just play that all the time. And I'm sure there's some other ones I know as well, but like I don't know anything about like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know much about the Minish Cap or Wind Waker or any of that. Yeah, I don't know much about the newest sandbox ones. I did actually play a multiplayer one once. I just happened to, like, friends and I happened to have, 3DSs all together. So we played, I think it was Triforce Heroes, because that was a 3-player game. And we would just do that together for a little bit. That was fun. Yeah, the 3-player game. It was pretty cute. Susie is a nice underneath it all. She's just not been treated right. The leg end of Tenna. TV time. Do you find it interesting that Ram is like, oh, Tenna took the original game and he made it all linear and not fun. There's no freedom in that. This is the original version with freedom in it, and the original version, basically you can only kill things and you still have to go in a fairly linear path. So I'm like, was this freedom? Really? Are we suggesting that Tenna has a foot fetish? I don't know about that. I don't know I don't know. What do you think Tenna's fetish would be? I don't think it's feet. Okay. Just jesting. Yeah, I recognize Rivali because he was everywhere, but I don't know Mipha and Daruk. Yeah, that's true. Spamton doesn't even have feet, so can't be feet. Spamton's got little, like, nubs. I don't even know. He's got, like, Rob Liefeld feet. I don't want to draw feet, so it's just like, little tippy toes. Nothing. Maybe it could be noses. I don't know. Could be noses. I guess massage. I don't know. That barely counts as a fetish. Massage. Like, okay, whatever. Boss monster. I'm gonna have to look up all these characters and stuff. So I'm like, who are these guys? Oh, ass. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. True. No, I totally forgot. You're right. It's ass. I mean, that's kind of been a running joke throughout a lot of the fandom, but I guess it is particularly strong with Tenna now you think about it. Right. Oh yeah, I guess if your tickless massage is not gonna work. Not gonna work so well. Yeah, right. How could I forget about all the mentions of ass? The size of Mike's ass seems variable today. Thanks, Tenna. Undertale's the damn game. Deltarune is the ass game. True. Much ass to be had. Susie thinks it's funny. Undertale's the Grooty game. I never tried the ones at the mall. And like the Spencers or whatever. All the talk of ass stuff, and all of a sudden I just suddenly remember from the Spamton sweepstakes. The part where I think they're like selling the candle that smells like Spamton's ass, and they're just like in the background like, Spamton ass! Spamton ass! Like, thank you, Wayne Radio TV. Weird body pillow of Spamton where he's like exactly the same up top and still has the tiny feet but just has like an ass. Like, I think we've cracked it. Well, maybe I shouldn't use that word. Alright. Meanwhile, Chris is having a bad time. Queen, woo! Where are they going? Well, they're going elsewhere. They're not sticking around here. I wish I could just use, like, the Queen, whoo, in real life, just, you know, when appropriate. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm not really good at it. Still, one of the funniest uses of that is, you know, at the end of her first boss battle, she's like, what's that over there? And then just, like, whip crack noise, whoop, and then her little runaway. Wayne almost kissed the Spamton cutout. He's so funny as Spamton, A. Spamton. Congrats on finishing the line art. like people just keep calling him back like, do you want to play Spamton again? He'll just be like, yes. I get to put on the clown white and horrible tights and weird prosthetic nose and just be weird as all hell for however long. Urbosa standing. Oh, I don't know any of these characters. I haven't played Breath of the Wild. I do need something to do with Caddy. I guess that would put Chris in the position of Link, naturally. Being the only humanoid-looking one. Chris was like, no, darn it, I want to be the blue dog that wins the race. Somehow, eventually won the race, the blue dog. Well, you can start with one doodle if you like. and go from there. Now's the time to ask. Okay. We're getting close to finishing this page, which will be all of these parts. Asper's done a lot of yelling with upset face this part. I have 2 nickels, which is weird that it's happened twice. Wait, what is the other time with an animal race where the blue animal lost repeatedly? I only know about the blue dog because of some YouTube, you know, craziness, but what was the other blue animal? Oh, sorry about ads. I'm trying to keep things down. Until we are back from the ads. Whew. After these messages, there will be OC's Doodle. Nice. And I still have a lot to do before I leave on my break. Ugh. I got so much done yesterday and there's still so much left to do. I don't know if the person who's done this particular kind of remix has done chapters 3 and 4 yet. I'll have to look for those. I would like more of them. Oh, there's a SpongeBob movie coming out? End alert. And by end we mean ass. It's all becoming clear now. That is totally fine. It's worth it. I appreciate a good pun. The author's barely disguised fetish, it's ass. That's hardly a fetish too. Oh well. Still, very funny. It's worth it. Yeah, where do you put the T in that? End T allure? I don't know. Okay, yes, please send me a link so that I can look for that. Do that over Discord. That should be fine. Also, welcome back from the ads. I just realized I might have to do your request once I get back from stretch break, because it should be my stretch break time. So, let me finish up this, and then I will look for that on Discord when I get back from my stretch break, and we'll do that. Gotta finish up poor Azzy here, having a bad time. Use the channel points. If you click on the points themselves, you'll see things that are available for you to do with the points, and the one with 2,500 should be requests. No. But just click on the points themselves. And you should come up with a little menu that says things you can do with them. You might have to scroll a little bit to see it. You are watching it on Twitch, yes? It should be at the bottom of the chat. The little circly doos. Little circle that lists the number of points you have. And just click on that, and then a menu should pop up saying what you can use the points for. Oh yeah, the bits are the little triangle bits. The little circle should be points. I think you can even get like a little custom points thing for that, but I haven't thought of what to do for a custom points image, so they're just still little circly bits. Or little circles. It's like right next to bits. Okay. Right, we're doing our stretchies. Let's see. Also, let me find that on Discord. Acceptia. Site. Cute. Alright, I'll be doing that once I get back from the rest of my stretches because I'm almost done. Actually, let me get a few more of these. Then I gotta go spooky bat girl. Everybody loves a spooky bat. Woo! Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff, and then I'll do that once I get back. Alrighty, I have returned. Let's get to it. Let's see. I'm stuck on poor Azzy here for a while. Okay. Let's see. Back over here. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can't do a little this in reverse, since they look like they have black outlines, or black body with white outlines. Let's see. I'll just draw on top of that. That'd be a little bit different. White. I'm sorry, I did not see the points from you. I don't think it worked, I'm sorry. I should be able to see it say, like, so-and-so redeemed such points. So sorry, I don't think I saw it. Might have to try again. Nice little reversal thing. Put back to the black. Okay. Little bat creature. So cute. I can put you up in here. Let's see. I think we only got room for like maybe 3 more or so. Then we'll be done with the page. Yeah, let me scroll up and see if it said got anything from you, but I don't see it. Sorries. Yep, it's almost full. It's a little baddie. I like bats. They are cute. They come with such a nice wide variety of kinds of bats. So many various bat faces. She likes knives. Just like Chris and Kara. Perfect for Halloween. Like, don't mess with her. She has knives and also is a bat. She's like, I got knives in my mouth. They're my teeth. And on my hands. Okay, I see it now. This is my character request. How about... I've already done Chakra. I'm sorry. Pick somebody else. Please. She's here. She's right here. This is Chakra, right? Sherma. Okay, sorry, I got that wrong. Okay, Chakra. Let me look that up. Similar names. Chakra Silks. Oh, okay. This is like a lanky person. Lanky fellow. Okay. Sorry, I thought they were the same character. They were not. We have so many bugs on here. It's very cute. This is a very bug page. Wasp lady. She does have a very wasp body, true. I'm having a hard time figuring out what that thing is on her back, shoulder. Can't quite tell. She got a very long leg. Oh, she got the wasp abdomen too, true. Oh, okay, I think those are like, oh, she's have this like over her shoulder, and that's like something she's holding back there. Trying to see from the thing. Oh, she also has long antenna. Yeah. They're like hang down like this. But trying to get her right. Like that. Okay. Cool. Hopefully I got her right there. There we go. Cool. Yep, I think we got room for maybe 2 more little guys and then we'll be full. The page will be done. Thank you for the request. And now you know how to do them. And can do them for the future. If we get 2 more, I'll finally be able to show this before the end of the year and be like, haha, our 2025 sketch doodle page. If you want to. Meanwhile, Chris is wandering off with Susie's. Well, we still got time before the end of the stream. Yeah, we got time. And if we do 2 more, we'll finish it up today. And that'd be a cool way to finish up the last art stream of this year. As Chris and Susie exit scene. But they're not done yet. It's actually really hard drawing Susie walking away from the back. Ugh. Dog's like, well, you're all still alive. That's neat. Puppy. And we'll have all the character cleans done for this part 9. Oh, I still need to do the character roughs for part 10, but I have to do the backgrounds first. Haven't gotten to that yet. But once we finish these off, we'll pop over to another part and start doing some fills. I do have a real lizard to use as lizard butt reference. That's true. I guess maybe part of the issue is like lizards don't really have butts. They don't have butts the same way mammals have butts. She got like, basically she has like her tail. That's just coming out back of the spine, and tail attaches to the base that her legs are on either side of. So her butt's kind of like this. Like here's this, here's legs, here's tail, here's body. And the actual like butt is just like a little like the cloaca, a little fold there. It's not really a butthole. That's hiding. You can't see that. Yeah, they pretty much just go like straight into tail at the back. Like on a mammal, you can kind of see on a lot of, you know, mammals with tails that like the tail kind of sits above the butt, like at the base of the spine. Whereas on a reptile, the butt is hidden, so the whole back end just turns into tail. They are very cute. And I'm pretty sure birds are of a similar caliber because they also have cloacas. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. Hope you're doing well. We are finishing up the character cleanups for this page, and then I'm probably going to move on to some fills on another page. Kind of bopping around various parts for the ending for Eldritchrune here. Birdly has no butt. Back to our discussion of asses in Eldritchrune. And yet the thing Birdly seems really pent on getting his nipples for some reason. Birdly, why do you want that? This is a way to come into a stream. I gotta talk about butts. or the lack thereof. Birdly, you're not a mammal. Seriously, like, why are there eggs on his desk? Never mind, I don't want to know. I still love. Why does this have nipples? You don't have nipples. Not yet, I don't. Birdly, why? Birdly, are you jealous of... Is a part of you jealous of Chris because they're a mammal and they have nipples? That never did get followed up on, did it? Perhaps it never should be. Oh. So when am I supposed to take my break? I still got a little bit of time before that. Birdly must be related to a titmouse. I don't think titmice have nipples either. Nobody got the Sunday to unpack that. Chris, like, I don't have time for that. Yeah, do they have species reassignment surgery in Eldritchrune's universe? If you're a monster and you're like, man, I really wish I had, like, you know, things that other monsters have, can you do that? Like, is medical science that advanced? Because it should be. One weird trick doctors know and all that stuff. we done with this part? I think so. Lee, a big wide shot to show how lonely everybody is. Okay. Oh my goodness. Cool, we finished the clean lines for part 9. Awesome. We're going to pop back over to part 4. Start doing some fills, because that's always doable. Got a bunch of those to do anyway. Maybe we can finish these up today too. Oh, they'll see each other again soon. Well, it won't be that long. Just off for now. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. Again, we just finished some clean lines for part 9, so I'm popping back over to do some fills for part 4. Overslept. Well, now's the time to do it. Again, sun's not even coming up until 8 a.m. Watch streak, hooray! Thank you for watching all the streams. I'm going to be on a bit of a break when I go home for the holidays. But then I will resume in January. I actually gotta, if I'm gonna do Soul of Sovereignty for my next game, I've gotta go download it. I think it's 10% off right now, so I gotta do that. I haven't done character fills in a while, so it's like, ah, breezy. This is one of the faster steps for this kind of stuff. Oh, there's probably a text box. Why is this blanked out? I'm like, there's probably a text box here. Alright, have a good shower. Sounds lovely. Thank you for lurking, too. Yeah, this one's not wearing armor. Very chewable. I still wish we could actually see what deaths look like. That would make a big difference. This ain't Carol. I know my Carol design here is a little off from how she is in canon, but oh well, oh well. Got, at least got the hair color kind of right. I should have put more blue in her outfit. I gave her a very green outfit, but I should have done blue because she has a lot of blue in her outfit. I do like how people's guesses on Carol were pretty correct. Yeah, just from how she was kind of like described in terms of personality, it's like, okay, you know, reindeer, monster, politician, mother, very cold and aloof. We've all kind of, you kind of get a mental image in your head of a woman like that. You can make some decent guesses, and those turn out to be fairly accurate in the ballpark. Well, we're gonna have to go around all Noelle's pointy little antler bits again, as you do. That's okay. I wonder if anybody's done like a little compilation of, you know, Carol designs and worked out who's gotten closest. Probably it's not anybody's gotten closest. It's just all these different elements that have applied across different designs that ended up in there. And I imagine the same's probably true for Des as well, assuming we ever get to see what she looks like, which I hope we do. We better, please. the quadfecta people we want to actually see in person in the game. Des, Asriel, Papyrus, and Gaster. Their designs being hidden from us on purpose. Well, I get the feeling we'll see some of those next chapter at least. Not all, but some. I mean, that's kind of inevitable. You can take your own spin on it. That in of itself can be fun if you're trying to like, okay, I'm gonna try and, you know, see what do I like about these other designs I've seen and what would I do differently. And that is fun. Even then, like, my design of her, my personal design of her has changed over time. As our clues about her have changed over time. I would kind of like it if she was, like, larger and not skinny. I think that'd be nice, but we'll see what we actually get. Right now we got nothing. You can do what you want forever. I do find it interesting that, like, say, you know, everybody drew her with, you know, regular antlers and stuff like that before we knew anything from chapters 3 and 4. And then in chapter 3 and 4, it's like, oh, Carol has blue antlers for some reason. They can have different colored antlers, and from that people are like, okay, she has red antlers. She has teal antlers. Just changing up the antler color. Because we're like, oh, we can do that. That's possible. Ain't nothing saying you can't. Ooh, okay, we got a request. Let me see. Ooh, okay, that's a bit of a guy. Alright. I will try and do the guy. We're almost done. Alright, I'm gonna, since this is a bit of a tall guy, let's do it here. Kind of looks a little bit like a like one of the robots from One Shot, actually. Like that, probably, actually. Robots. Gotta use 7 on there. I just kind of naturally add that little thing to 7. You have to already make them a little smaller. Fit. Nice shapes. The high heels looks always good. With extra big arm. Okay. Robot character, very cute. Alright, that leaves us room for one more. And then we'll be done. Okay. For a 3D class. Oh, there's another flag thingy on the right. Let me see. I thought I only saw one. Okay, there's one more. Okay. 2 flag thingies. Okay, the other one's a little smaller. I see. There we go. Okay. We did it. Right, one more, and we will have the page full. I gotta stop kind of soonish to do my next stretch break. Actually, when is my next stretch break? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yay! Cool. That looks like it'd be fun to do a 3D model for. What are y'all using for 3D modeling classes? Is it still like Maya, or are people using Blender nowadays? Because I grew up using Maya, but nowadays we just use Blender because it's free. Yeah, still Maya? Okay. That makes sense. If you can get the license for it, then why not? I should try and teach myself Blender, though. It's been a long time since I've done 3D modeling. I've forgotten a lot of it. I used to be able to do a lot of stuff like 3D modeling and a little bit of texturing, animation, etc., messing around with lights, and I could probably pick it up again if I focused on it, but I would have to focus on it and all that kind of stuff. Because, at the very least, those 3D modeling programs, they can get pretty dense with how much you can do. But I would like to be able to do that a little more, just for my own sake. It's hard to keep. I guess the main problem with 3D modeling is because it requires so much use of the mouse, and that's actually harder on my hand than using a pen is, which is kind of why I've shied away from it a bit. I'd really need to get a setup that works okay with my wrist. Yes, if the doodle page gets finished today, I will post that on like Tumblr and Blue Sky and all those places. It will be there. See, I think again we just need one more and the page will be full. All right, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you being here. Noelle so large. She's so large. I need more remixes of From Now On. I really like that one. Watch, I'm going to be like, oh, I love this boss battle theme. Then they're going to change it again next chapter. You're like, no, I like that one too. I'm sure we'll like whatever future battle themes we get to. might take my stretch break after I finish this panel. Yeah, I'm doing this one. And then do that and continue on. Do all the little sharp bits and Noels for, of which there are many. She's a frosty deer. True. This is her time. Her weather. It's all cold. Christmas less than a week away. It got here so fast. I'm so excited about this information. Etc., etc. So, Noel, like Christmas is coming. What's coming? It's coming. Should we be careful? It's coming. It's coming. Better watch out. It's gonna get you. Okay. Let's do stretch break and then we'll continue on with more. Ah! Dropped my pillow. Okay. Oh. Ugh, I'm gonna have to go out today to do some things, and I hope it's not raining too much. I was looking at the thing and it's like sleet, and I'm like, no, I don't want sleet. It's the cruddy thing. Doesn't feel nice like rain, doesn't feel nice like snow. It's just like the coldest rain. Ugh. It'd be nice if we got like a Christmas snow, but if we do, I'm going to miss it. Alas, alack. I feel like we usually just get snow here in like January, February. Never around Grimace. Trying to also decide when I'll post this stream up, because usually I do it like 2 days after, but I'm going to be flying away in 2 days, so I might have to squeeze it in a little bit earlier than that. I got so much to do in the next 2 days. We'll do our best. So much to do. Herbs. Stretch. Okay. Alright, I'll be back for one more stretch, and then we will continue on. with another session. Oh. Okie dokie. Back into it. Ooh, welcome back. Yes, get yourself a drink. Make sure you stay hydrated. Or if it's cold out, get yourself a warm drink. What is your guys' hot drink of choice? Or morning drink of choice? I am a hot chocolate person. Not like tea is okay, but not my favorite. But too much caffeine in coffee, I react badly to. So I'm a hot chocolate person. Coffee. Coffee. Mostly coffees. Tea for evening, hot chocolate sometimes. Herbal tea. Herbal tea is nice. But much like Chris and Kara, I'm like, give me that hot chocolate. Exactly. When it's cold, it is hot drink season. It's the time for it. Man, I kind of wish that I had scraped together the time and the money to go to the Christmas market this year, just so I can get some a little bit of mulled wine. Very good at Christmas time. It's like kind of a spicy cinnamony wine. I do like me cold drinks, but sometimes when the weather's hot, it just feels nice actually to have a hot one. Oh no, the tea overflowing. Dr. Pepper. I myself am not a Dr. Pepper fan. Don't like the taste. I do like iced tea though. That's been my usual drink of choice. Especially flavored ones. Actually, I think I prefer like iced tea to like hot tea. Yeah, I've noticed that like when I get sick, or when I think I'm gonna get sick, and I'm like, oh no, I can feel it coming on, I'll switch to hot water rather than cold water. And that, like, I'm still getting hydrated and it feels a little bit nicer. Ah, I'm screaming. Woo. That's some chili colds. One liter of ginger ale. Ooh. Don't know how big I am on ginger ale either. When did I have it last? I don't even remember. Yes, load me up with the big fancy hot chocolate with all the marshmallow and stuff in it. That's how I like it. Basically hot chocolate milk. Hot chalky milk. I'm down with that. Even though my stomach probably isn't, but whatever. I want my chalkies. I know, chalky milk. It's good. Even my coffee drinks, I'm like, I'll take it if this has like, you know, chocolate and milk in it. And other sugars and stuff like that, so I don't taste the coffee as much. But I have unfortunately found that I cannot handle too much caffeine very well. Like, I'll be like, oh, I like mochas. I'll get a mocha that has like the coffee and chocolate and stuff in it. And then 2 or 3 hours later, I'm like, regret. I feel bad. So I probably inherited that from a parent of some sort, so I gotta be careful with that. And not do too much caffeine at once. I've never tried a energy drink, and I think if I did, I would just like crumble into dust and die. It would not be pretty. Yeah, my heart would explode. Pretty much. Alright, let's do this fills. All over the place. Yeah, I'm pretty much would be just like the green Pippins being like, sip, ow, sip, ow, sip, ow, sip, ow, 1 HP. Well, I guess it depends on, yeah, what kind of hot chocolate you're making, because if you don't make it with milk, and especially if you have, like, a natural hot chocolate that doesn't have, like, you know, dairy products in it, it's just, like, the cocoa powder, then you can do that. Yeah, that is more work. I'm sure there's, vegan hot chocolate mixes, and just mix it with water. Okay, now we're on to this one. I do like milk and stuff, even though it's bad for me. Trying to replace it with more oat milk than dairy milk, because I do like the taste of milk and stuff, but my tummy does not. But oat milk seems to be a decent substitute, so I've been trying to use oat milk more often. I guess that would also count as vegan. Like, almond milk tastes too much like almonds, which I like almonds, I just don't want my milk to taste like almonds, and then I haven't really been big on soy milk, but oat milk has worked out well. But it doesn't taste so off, and also tastes kind of the most like milk. Aww. Yeah, we just put it through a strainer, I guess. And it sounds yummy, it just also sounds chunky. Man, I wish I knew how to make milk tea, but I'm pretty sure like boba tea, milk tea. But I'm pretty sure that like you actually need fancy equipment to do that correctly. Because otherwise it's just gonna separate. Fancy chai on the stove. It's time for Noelle close-ups. I do like that she has a horrible, not very deer-like mouth. Yeah, if you can get like a really thin mesh, that should be doable. Like not really a colander, but like, yeah, very thin mesh. I think I have some of those. I'm gonna use them more often, actually. Yeah, I guess she does have fangs like a camel, yeah. Camels are kind of scary. They're cool, but the way they move, something about the way camels move is just like, whoa, you're a little You're funky for an ungulate, aren't you? Actually, are they ungulates? Probably. I don't know. They're probably not. They're probably something else. And I just don't know what it is. My brother's got to ride a camel once, but I haven't. Their goofy faces hide the horror within. True. I feel like a lot of, you know, like, ungulates, like horses and camels and, you know, mules and zebras or whatever, like, they seem like, oh yeah, that's a cute normal face, and then when you look in their mouth, they're like, oh, that's a not normal. I don't know what's going on in there. You gotta have weird teeth to eat, like, plants all day. And they'll get you. That is true. Lots of animals get weirder the closer you look at them. They get all weird and gunky. They probably think we're weird and gunky. I'm still kind of like weirded out and blown away how like baby birds have like basically landing lights inside their mouths. Yeah, I do know that there's some deer that like kind of look like saber teeth. They have the little fangs sticking out of them. I like the little saber fangs though. They're very cute. And they probably would not be cute if they bit you. Well, I'm sure there's people that like, you know, if you're not used to how reptiles look, they'll be like, oh, Alf, your lizard is so like weird and stuff. I'm like, no, that's normal for her. She's supposed to have a weird little face like that. She's supposed to have, you know, her ring finger basically be extra long compared to everything else on her feet. Supposed to have the thumbs on the outside. Still annoys me how thumbs on the outside always feels very wrong. Even if logically it should work just as well to grab something. Whenever I try and draw characters with outside thumbs, it's like, no, it doesn't look right. Even though it should be, I did it this way. Well, I imagine the inside thumbs has got to be a little bit better than outside thumbs for a few reasons. I guess it depends on what you're doing. Okay. Ugh. My orange juice all gone. Need regular water again. I like orange juice a lot, but I don't like the fact that somehow orange juice makes you more thirsty. Like, why does that happen? Also, what's going on with this line here? I think I can get rid of it. Be gone. Like, drinking any kind of liquid should not make you more thirsty. That should be against the rules. And yet. Alright, have fun at the Christmas party, and thank you for coming by. Hope you have a good time. Get some snacks. I should try going to a Christmas party again. I haven't done that in a while. Just kind of skipped the worked ones. Well, I'm a bit of a introvert. It's like I gotta work on projects. I don't have time for parties, but I try and make some time sometimes. It's been a quieter December than it was last year. Oh well. She's so small. Either way, I hope you have fun. Yeah, that's wrong. I don't think I've ever been to like a truly wild Christmas party though. Wow, you think stuff happened at the office Christmas party? That's crazy. And no, not the ones I've been to. They've been fine. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna have to come back and do the ice on a separate layer. So we can do see-through stuff, but we'll do the regular one for now. Keep forgetting about all these layered ice effects. Nice ice, baby. You have to see how all our various themes of water and ice play out in the game itself. Until Toriel's drunk on the eggnog and singing swears. Chris will sing swears. Toriel at least knew how to have fun at a party, at least in college. Now people be like, how dare you have fun at party, Toriel? How dare you? Motherhood is suffering all the time. I don't know, I think she should be allowed to dance and have fun with a guy she likes. Even if the timing on it is bad. You know what, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever had eggnog either. How did that happen? Like, I know eggnog is slightly alcoholic, but like, what is the alcohol in eggnog? It's probably like, I don't know, rum and milk or something? I don't know, what is it? What is the fermented thing in eggnog that makes you get drunk off of it? Is alcoholic and non-alcoholic eggnog? What's in the alcoholic kind? Biggest question, who invented eggnog? Somebody. It seems like one of those things that's probably been around. Okay, here's my guess. Eggnog is one of those things where you think it's been around for like centuries, and actually they invented it in like the 50s or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that was what happened. Not an eggnog fan? That's fine, yeah, I haven't had it either. I hate it when you're like, oh yeah, this thing, it's tradition, it's been around forever probably, and you find out, no, we invented this in like 1943 to sell cigarettes or whatever. And it's like, wait, what? But I don't know the history of that. I'd have to look it up. Well, imagine you're like an eggnog manufacturer and just like you have to sit on all your eggnog, and then like as soon as Christmas rolls around, it's like finally we can start selling our product. It's too seasonal. Like, do people drink eggnog like at any time but Christmas? Except for like the die-hard eggnog fans, I guess. Well, I think you've done too much eggnogs. Love how when Noelle is like, wow, this person is acting kind of crazy. They must have had too much of seasonal Christmas food. I'm like, you're so silly. Why is the holiday family so big on Christmas when that's not even in their religion? That's somebody else's religion. Why are you so big on it? What's the backstory there? And aside from the fact that you're reindeer. Whew. Ooh, I hope you have a good time at church. And that it goes well, even if you have not been there in years. Well, old and new, a thing with centuries of precursors. Interesting. Okay, so it is older than we the precursors being medieval. Okay, so it's existed, but it might have existed in different forms compared to what it is now. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, usually I would only be going to church with family at Christmas, but I think we might skip this year because my mom wants to visit her grandma, or my grandma, her mom. I mean, I think the only day we can do that is Sunday, so probably gonna be busy driving out there rather than going to church. Bit unusual, but not unheard of. Because there's no way we'll get there in time to go to church with her. Tasting history videos. I have not seen any tasting history. I imagine that's gotta be interesting though. Like, I think in general food history would be interesting. As things change depending on, tradition, what ingredients are available when, what technologies you have to process certain foods. It's so funny how like certain foods just get like super associated with, certain cultures, like tomatoes being super associated with Italy, even though that's a relatively recent thing. Tomatoes come from the New World, they don't come from Italy. Italy got tomatoes and were like, we're gonna put these in everything. Everything. Who invented cheese? Good question. Like, I'm sure they were using cow milk, and then it's like, some of this cow milk went bad. No, actually, it's still good. We'll just keep doing it this way. I imagine lots of different cultures had to figure out cheese at once. Oops, I forgot a couple spots. Go back for those. And they also have yogurt on the way there too. gonna do double duty in terms of character-based stuff. Actually, I kind of wonder which animal people got cheese from first. Was it cows or was it more likely like sheep or goats? I'm pretty sure people were keeping sheep and goats more frequently than they were cows early history. Sheep especially are, you know, a little easier to take care of than a cow. Yeah, exactly. It's a size thing. It's easier to herd around a bunch of sheep than it is to herd around some cows. You gotta domesticate them down from, you know, more wild versions of cows like, you know, steer. And those are probably more dangerous than, say, a wild goat. Yeah, I can't really wrestle a cow. I mean, people are probably starting out with sheep's milk, or sheep and goat and milk and cheese and stuff like that. And eventually when they got cows domesticated, like, oh, the cow milk is even better than the sheep milk. Actually, I don't know. Maybe sheep milk's good. I've never had it. Sheepies. Like the weirdness how sheep and goats are pretty much about the same, except sheep just like developed wool and goats did not. I'm like, hey, we can use that to make our clothes that are warm. Well, I imagine even wrestling like an ornery sheep or a goat could be pretty dangerous if you're dealing with, like, you know, a ram that's got the horns. Give you the business end of that. That would not be fun. But still, in terms of actually like an animal you can deal with, I would much rather deal with a sheep than a cow. Cow's very large. Large fellows. And then you've got pigs, which are as big as cows and even more dangerous. Farm animals, they're quite large. Animals. But they're not as large as Noelle here. She's larger. She's staring at you. Alright, we can do a little bit more. I have to stop and do my stretch break soon. We can do a little bit more here. It is kind of wild that we domesticated pigs. Yeah, how long did that take? It really must have been a thing of like we were leaving out scraps for like food scraps, and pigs are like, we'll have that. And then just like, okay, as long as we keep giving them the food scraps, they get domesticated. I don't know. I don't understand how domestication works somehow, because, you know, like we certainly leave out food scraps for, you know, that raccoons and bears will pick up, but they're nowhere near domestication. How do you bridge that gap between, you know, a wild animal that will eat your scraps and an animal that's like, yes, please, I'm going to depend on you for everything now? It seems at least in part kind of up to the animal. Again, we can leave scraps out for bears all day, and they will. They don't want to be dependent on us, though. They're like, we're fine. We're bears. We don't need anything from you. And it makes sense that some animals would be like, okay, you know, let's depend on the humans. That's the ideal, you know, use of our evolution points. But pigs kind of doesn't make sense because pigs are pretty big, powerful, scary animals as wild pigs. Yeah, I don't know about raccoons either. Again, raccoons will happily eat our scraps, but I haven't seen any signs so far that raccoons are like, yep, let's depend on humans for everything, because you approach a wild raccoon, and if it does not like you, it will let you know. Oh yeah, so I think it's like usually shorter snout length is for domestication. Like signs of domestication are usually like, okay, bit like the eyes change so that, you know, they're more expressive because that's appealing to humans. They get the floppy ears, start wagging tails. Coloration can change sometimes. Like apparently piebald is something that only shows up in domesticated animals for some reason. Which I'm not sure why that pattern in particular is like only associated with domestication. I don't know what is the purpose of that coloring specifically. See, I'm not even quite sure that the dreamers are supposed to be goats. Because, yeah, they've got kind of the horns and the floppy ears of a goat. But they have, you know, they have the fangs, they have paws. I kind of associate them more with there are certain kinds of dragons. Like, I don't remember if it's like specifically Scandinavian dragons or something, where basically they're furred dragons. They have like the long floppy ears, but they also again have the fire association, fangs, stuff like that. So they're kind of goats, but not quite. I wouldn't necessarily call them goat monsters. Like, they don't have hooves. Yeah, perhaps. It's just interesting because, okay, even if you don't need the camo, why would you drop the camo patterns for specifically piebald? Like having the camo pattern isn't necessarily going to hurt, even if you are domesticated. Yeah, there we go, like Zonai. I think Susie is definitely more proper dragon kind of thing, or at least more, you know, Western dragon, but Western European dragon, but I've always thought that maybe the dreamers are kind of associated with certain kinds of dragons that are fluffy and long-eared. I guess maybe so. Maybe piebald is always kind of in the gene pool, but it gets selected for it if you're domesticated. Interesting. 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 Well, there you go. I mean, heck, even in Undertale, there, you know, one of the questions you can ask Garrison is like, is Toriel a goat? And they don't really ever answer that. They're like, she was just mad that people called her, thought she was a cow. So the answer is like, probably not. Huh. I guess genetics is complicated. Maybe it is linked to temperament. Interesting. So piebald is as a gene is just like kind of linked to like a more docile temperament. Interesting. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm going to take one more stretch break, and then we'll finish this up. The screaming toddler. Oh, now you know it's Christmas. Gotta have a screaming toddler around for that. I realized I kind of put a spacey themed piebald pattern on Eldritch Caddy, which is funny. I just wanted to incorporate like cosmic looking patterns. They kind of ended up piebaldish. I didn't know that about white blue-eyed cats though. They tend to be deaf. I wonder why that is. The only cat stereotype I've heard is that orange male cats tend to be dum-dums. Tend to be big goobers. Orange cats of all genders are dum-dums. Okay. Is that why Garfield is like that? Even though he's actually portrayed as being like, I'm smarter than all of you. He's not the dum-dum, but he's the exception. He took all other orange cat smarts. He and Heathcliff. Calico's being 90% female. How odd. Genetics are weird. Weird. Sometimes they don't make sense. It's to orange cats stand a chase in the books as the blondes. That's a comparison. Tortoise cats? I thought like tortoise cats are like largely male instead of female. Well, calicos I guess are mostly female instead of male. Probably shows up in some Pokemon too. Ooh. Even though that's fake genetics, not real ones. I wonder why we use certain names for things. Like, for cats and dogs and horses and a lot of mammals, if they have certain genetic traits, we say they're certain breeds. But apparently, with bearded dragons, if there's certain traits with those, they call them morphs. Like Alfie's is a diamondback morph, apparently, because she doesn't have that many spikes on her back. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and water and stuff. I'm back for one more session. We'll probably finish up all the fills for this too. Since the zone eye, that works. Welcome back. We got one more session. So now is the time to ask for something on the other thing if you need it. On the doodle page. These two are going to be overlapped, so I'm just going to do them on separate layers. Do it on the correct layers. Ah, I almost bit my tongue. I hate that. No! Yeah, I don't know why, but apparently reptile changes are called morphs. Knights from the Knights video game series. Okay, I think I can do that. Let's look that up. I assume it's this character. Let's see. Find a good angle for her. You're 500 channel points away. Okay, we'll fill this in our final spot here. But if you miss it, don't worry. Then a new page will start. It'll go on. I'm going to put her hand first. I assume it's a she anyway. Realize we gotta pull ourselves down here. I'm going to delete the doodle page and it'll never come back again. Oh no! Never again. There's another game I have not played. Oh, genderless? Okay. My assumption was incorrect. I guess technically it's kind of like Materasu too. It's supposed to be genderless, even though everybody refers to her as a she. Okay. I see, I see. Alrighty. Here we go, it's our final one. The page is full. Whoa! The page is full. We will share that later after the stream. And we'll start a new page next time for next session. Yay, done sketch page. Oh, interesting. I've never played Nights into Dreams. I might have seen, is that the draw fee one? I know I need to do another Gartic Phone series. I used to do that with people all the time. I mean, it's been a while since we've done it. We should do that again. Localization, but the voice in the Wii game was pretty feminine. Interesting. Okay. I learned something new today. I didn't know anything about the Night series, so fascinating. It's kind of genderless, however you go kind of deal. yes, keep a lookout. I will post the sketch page soon. I'll do that on Blue Sky and Tumblr. And then we'll start a new page. And on it we'll go. Yeah, what system was Dreams originally for? I'm guessing like PS1 or something like that? PS2 maybe? Or maybe was it a Sega actually? I never had a Sega. Sega Saturn, okay. First one was a Sega Saturn. Okie dokie. Oh, the second one's on the Wii. That's a bit of console hopping. Okay. Okay, I can see it, because those proportions are very Sonic. Sonic character proportions are, like, shockingly hard to do. I don't know what it is, but I think, like, unless you've had a lot of practice, it's, like... It's difficult to get the proportions of a Sonic character right. They got, like, the, you know... very large head, very large eyes, but also, like... You know, hardly anything in the back. Very little shoulders, all limbs. And it's interesting. Yeah, seriously. Oh yeah, especially if you're coming from like a you know, superhero place. Where you're supposed to emphasize stuff like the shoulders, the chest, and then Sonic characters do not emphasize shoulders and chest. That's probably going to really show. They're very different priorities in terms of proportion. I just know the few times I've had to draw Sonic characters, I've been thinking, okay, this is a simple character design. And then when I sit down to do it and actually have to think about it, I'm like, this requires a bit of thought. This is a bit of practice. It ain't an easy thing actually to draw Sonic characters. That's my takeaway. And even then, it's kind of interesting because I feel like Sonic's proportions in, like, the classic games are a bit closer to, like, you know, Mario and all that stuff, the contemporaries. And then once you get to, I guess, I don't know what it is, Sonic Adventure or something, where his proportions got kind of, like, taller and lankier, is when you get those proportions that Sonic is known for and really starts to kind of break away and be its own style. I say, just from what I've observed, I have not participated in the Sonic fandom at all, so I am not in the know. I'm sure there's people that have spent way more time in Sonic franchise than I have who know a lot more knowledgeable on that. Yeah, stuff like that. The adventure art. Little stubbier and classic. I'm going to go ahead and do fills on her now. Come back to her later. Always interesting to see how stuff has evolved and what things have stuck around, what things haven't. And we'll go back to Noelle. Yeah. Mostly from my mutuals is how I know stuff for that. Silent protagonist. Interesting. I would never take Sonic for a silent protagonist, even in, like, the classic versions. He'd have his little, like, you know, his little quips. He doesn't seem the quiet type. Maybe it's because they're like, oh, we don't know if we can assign a voice to classic Sonic that would fit him. Because it, you know, we imagine it with, you know, the more modern Sonic, fine, but maybe it feels like it would feel weird if it was attached to a classic one. That's my best guess. It's pre-voice acting era. Being a retro character, yeah. Since most retro characters do not have voices. That is true. That is true. I wonder why they didn't do that carryover with Sonic then. If Tails and Eggman got that. Now I'm suddenly wondering, when did voice acting start becoming used a lot in games? Like, I'm at, like, what generation of console? Because I imagine, like, if you're doing voice acting, you really have to, like, have the space for that on your consoles, on your cartridges. PS1 makes sense. I guess you got like a little bit of it in like SNES with I'm trying to think. Okay, Donkey Kong Country. That didn't really have had like little voice clips, but that wasn't really voice acting. Started in PS1, standardized around Dreamcast, PS2. That makes sense. You gotta have the hardware, I guess, to store all those voice clips. Sound is shockingly expensive in terms of how much space it takes. Star Fox 64. Yeah, I guess that did have voice acting, didn't it? I thought he was still doing some voice acting. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Voice acting is hard. Again, the one time I tried to like, okay, I have to speak, clearly and plainly for this theory video. I'm like, this is scary. How do people do it all the time? That's not just talking. Yeah, that's true. I feel like people would mostly know him from Family Matters or whatever it is. Or Fresh Prince, where he was Urkel. I don't know. Yeah, voice acting is so hard. I don't know how you get past that little... You gotta ego death yourself and like, no, I sound fine, but in your head you're like, I don't. Okay, he wasn't in Fresh Prince. I'm wrong. Okay, it was Family Matters. Okay. I'm like, which one was Urkel in? I didn't see either of those either. I'm so uncultured. Yeah, I suspect people know him more for Urkel than Sonic, but I might be wrong. As Urkel, yeah. There's some crossovers there. Expand the Tommy Westphal universe thing. All of TV is connected. Yeah, I gotta like train it and stuff like that. Okay, let's do some fills. And we got one more page for this part, and that'll be filled in. And we will be good. Yeah, I don't know, just like talking during a stream doesn't feel the same. Because I'm just like chatting. I'm just talking. And I'm not thinking about, I have to make sure this sounds good. But I don't know, just recording the voiceover for the theory video was like, I have to think about this. I have to make sure it sounds good. And that was intimidating. I can't just talk. I have to think about it. I have to speak. I guess that is an impression you could first get if, from chapter 1. But she is no ditz, that's for sure. I don't think anybody in the classroom really counts as ditzy, except for maybe Timmy, and even then. She's less ditzy and more spacey. She's too busy drawing her hot demon guys. Gotta get those for Kool-Aid. Timmy has hidden depths. True. Sim is learning to sing. She's gonna sing the song for you. And she's learning baking. See all that baking stuff she's posted on Blue Sky. I'm like, oh, that all looks so good. I want to make croissants. Homemade croissants sounds amazing. I don't have a kitchen big enough for that. My kitchen teeny tiny. She is so valid for her hot demon guys. True. Tim have deep history. Let's experience history of 10. You gotta save up for Kool-Aid. Imagine Timmy goes to the same college that Azriel does and Pizza Pants never does. I'm stuck at my stupid pizza joint job. Or Pizza Pants. I wonder how he's going to take finding out he's been being catfished by Blue Rabbit guy. We got to resolve that little side quest at some point. Nice. One thing about Ralsei I find very interesting is people seem to have such a wide variety of voices for Ralsei. I feel like you hear like a lot of similarities between like say Birdley's voice or Susie's voice, but Ralsei seems to cover a wide range of approaches. I find it interesting. Like, I can't think of anybody where I'm like, oh yeah, that's the definitive Ralsei voice. Especially not compared to, like, say, Sans and Papyrus, where those have very set voices. Papyrus is Skeletor, and Sans is like a New Yorker. Forget about it. I think actually once I finish this page, we'll be done for the day. Because I think this is going to go pretty quick. And we'll have all the fills done for part 4. Which is pretty neat. See, got all that. And Carol had oh crap moment. yep, this is the end. We're about done. As soon as I finish this page, we will be done for the day. But thank you for stopping by. We got a lot done today. We've got basically the character cleans done for part 9. They're going to get the fills done for part 4. And we filled out the doodle page. The first doodle page. Carol's in trouble. It's not going to be pretty. In fact, it's going to get quite ugly. We'll see what happens to her in canon, though. No, especially her. No, she's not used to being the receiving end of it. Sacrificing all those kids might not have been worth it. It's possible. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do. Actually, I might be finishing up a little bit early, yeah. Because I don't have any other pages prepped to go yet. The first rule of child sacrifice is have fun and be yourself. True. The second rule of child sacrifice is we don't talk about the child sacrifice. The third rule is something with robotics? I don't know. Actually, I guess the first rule of child sacrifice should be read all the instructions before proceeding. Don't be a dummy, read all the book. And make sure you understand them, that's also very important. Anybody ever get one of those tests in like school where it's like a little worksheet of like, do this, count to this many things, but also the first instruction is read all the instructions to the end before you start, and then the last thing you're supposed to do on the thing is, ignore all previous instructions and just sit at your desk until we're done. And the lesson learned from this assignment was, hey, follow the instructions and don't rush into things. I listened to it. No, I remember we had something like that. We might have had it multiple times. But no, literally this was an assignment you would give kids where it's like a little worksheet of all these various things you're supposed to do. But the very first instruction at the top of the page is read all the instructions before you start. And then the final instruction at the bottom is ignore all those instructions and do nothing. And the point of the test was to see if you actually follow the instructions and like read it through before starting, as opposed to just like, jumping into the assignment because you're like, I gotta hurry up and do all this stuff in the time limit. Yeah, read it carefully and then write the answer. So meanwhile, poor Rudy's back here not doing well. Yeah, exactly. Especially nowadays. I think we need that assignment more than ever because we are trained to jump into things right away and not actually read through things very carefully. That was the point of that assignment. It's like, hey, make sure you read everything carefully before you begin and know what you're doing. Yeah, exactly. People would be like, why aren't they doing anything? It's like, because I read all the instructions and you're not supposed to actually do anything. It's designed to teach you a little bit of patience and reading comprehension. And they gave this to, I'm trying to remember what age they gave it to us at. I think we were quite young. Not like can't read that young, but, you know, we're testing your reading comprehension. Did you actually read all the instructions first? I mean, it kind of is a joke. It's partially a joke. Because you're not supposed to actually do anything for it. But again, the point of it is, the assignment is, do you pay attention? Do you read everything first before you jump into something? Do you avoid assumptions? And think carefully, basically. Yep, that was the assignment. You do nothing. You sit at your desk and you do nothing until we're done. It's it was a thing. I think that is, maybe they stopped doing that assignments because, like, if students fell for it and just started doing all the instruction stuff and then found out that they failed by doing that, they would get annoyed really fast. Because it kind of sucks if you do that. Every answer is B, and literally that was the answer. Ugh. These are things that train you to read the terms of service. Yeah, they get picked on. But there are situations where, like, okay, reading the instructions is actually quite important. Like, I don't remember which band this was. This was a, very popular rock band, but the whole thing of, like, I leave a bowl of M&Ms in our trailer, but remove all of the green M&Ms. Like, people are like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, why would, rock band, do something pedantic like that? People are so picky. And that wasn't the point of it. The point of it was because that band had a lot of, like, heavy equipment that was really dangerous and setup could, go terribly wrong. There were, like, pyrotechnics and stuff like that. The point of putting in the M&M clause was to make sure that you had read all the instructions. So if they walked into their trailer and there was M&Ms on there and they didn't take out the green ones, then that was their signal that, oh, somebody did not read the instructions. We don't know if setup is safe. So actually, it's useful to know when to read all the instructions. But of course, that's always gets spun of, like, oh, people are so demanding. Like, no, they're actually sometimes trying to be safe. Yeah, it was a clever little trick to tell at a glance, did people actually follow the instructions we gave them? Because you really don't want to, go into a setup with, like, big flashing lights and pyrotechnics and stuff like that, and that stuff is not set up properly. That could be dangerous to you or the guests. All right. Oh my goodness, we're done. Well, it's like, hey, you're not wearing armor either. You look chewable. You look chew toy sized. Now aren't crunchy and good with ketchup as the memes from, like, the 2010s went. Ugh. Okay, we're done. I don't have any other pages prepped yet, so this is a good place to stop. We are done for the day, which is pretty good. Again, we got all the character cleans done for part 9. Got these fills done for part 4. And we got the doodle page done, and I'll share that soon. Hooray! Yay! So again, thank you guys so much for coming. Next time, it's probably going to be a week break, because on Tuesday I am leaving to go spend the holiday with my family. I'll be gone until, like, the new year pretty much, and then when I get back in the new year, we'll do new games, and hopefully next art stream we might do a little bit of a fun Eldritchrune thing. Instead of just ending stuff, we'll do some funny doodles instead. That's what Carol gets for for sacrificing kids, mostly. But we'll do more of that again after a week's break. I hope that you guys have, if you're doing anything, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday break, Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. I hope that it is relaxing and fun and as stress-free as possible, and get good food, good gifts if you get all that. And yeah, I will definitely be seeing you in the next year, which is coming up really fast. Watch a new Digimon episode. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. I always appreciate talking with you. Thanks for all the follows and the subscriptions and all the other silly stuff. I hope the rest of your year goes really, really nicely, because you all are special and you're so cool. Thank you for being here. Go have some fun. I gotta get some lunch and prepare for it to leave soon. I have so much I still have to do. But I still wanted to draw some stuff with you guys. Again, you all are the coolest. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. But yes, I must be off for now, and I will see you all next time. Alrighty, bye-bye, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, take care, see you later.